Okay. So we have to remember good that this side is Ma'ariv, west, the other side is east, right? And the whole sky is going, the whole Galaxy is going from Mizrach Ma'ariv over there, full circle. Have to keep in mind, and we are actually where from here we look, we are actually outside the world, on the side, the west side of the world, and we see the world. Now, all our cheshbonos actually are to find out what the Rambam will give us is to find out exactly how far the moon from the sun is. Why do we have to know? Like we said yesterday, that the sun goes down, but the black line is the shkia. The black line of the globe is the shkia from the sun. So when the sun goes down, the moon is still over the horizon, and then the moon will go down. So we need actually two things in order to see the moon, the new moon. First of all, we want the moon should be as far away from the sun. So the more the sun is away, the more the moon is away from the sun, so it'll be a bigger moon. The banana will be much more light. And another thing that when everybody knows when the sun goes down, so right after the sun goes down, it doesn't become dark right away. It takes time. It gets darker and darker. The more the sun goes down, the more dark it's going to go. Now, if
something fell, the moon.
Well, very.
You have you're middling the second point.
So if the moon will be close to the sun, so the moon will go down right after the sun. So we want
within an hour.
I'm not going in time now. I'm just
First of all, the moon should be distant.
Distance. The more likely you'll be able to see it.
And second of all, the more distance, then it won't go down together with the sun.
Right. Huh? No, we are talking about the Mela. The Mela.
Okay, so there's two reasons why the moon has to be far from the sun.
Not why it has to be, but when it's further away, it will be, if they know, it'll be easier to see it.
First
Okay.
of all, because of the size, and second of all, it doesn't go down together with the sun.
Right, and it lingers more in the sky. Okay, so now in Perek, let's say in Perek Yuzayin, right away in the beginning, the Rambam says that if it will be less than 9 degrees between the sun and the moon, so forget about it. Don't even make any calculations. You won't be able to see it. So you need more than 9 degrees. Now let's think a minute in what does it mean in time, right? How much does how much does the
moon goes 13, but really 12.
The sun goes what? The moon goes 13 degrees. No, 13 degrees and 13 degrees in a day.
Every day.
Yeah, the Levana goes 13 degrees in a day. So what does that mean? That means if you know when exactly the Melech, and we want to push, we want the moon should be, let's say, 10 degrees away from the sun. So in time, how long do you need?
A little less than a day.
Exactly. It's about 20 hours about, right?
Or if it's a day, it'll be for sure 13 degrees away.
Right, exactly. But a day later, we need like at least 18 hours or something. So if it's before 18 hours, like we say, we're not going to be able to see the moon this month. What it means this month? They always count from Rosh Chodesh, right? Let's say Sunday is Rosh Chodesh. So you start to count 29 days, right? And 29 at night, all the calculations will be on 29 at night. Or 29 at night, let the person sits, I mean, they said before, but they made the calculation, where will the and the moon and the sun be by 29 at night. And
The night after
12 hours.
Right.
after-
not Leil 29, but Leil Lamed.
Yeah.
Leil Lamed. 29 full days. After 20 full 29 days, where will be exactly the sun and the moon? And now, for what time, for which times they are aiming to? So the Rambam says they're aiming, in Perik Yud Dalet, in the end of Perik Yud Dalet, they're aiming about 20 minutes after the Shkia. That's the Shas Ariyah, the time of seeing. Why 20 minutes after the Shkia? Like we said before, because right after the Shkia, it's too much light outside. So it's going to be very hard to see it. So 20 minutes after the Shkia, so it's darker. Now, let's see, we have a little calculation. You have to keep your head a little. How much does the Galgal Yomi go in
Every day, 360.
360? How much does it come out in an hour? 15 degrees an hour. Now let's in minutes. How many degrees? Oh, good. Every 4 minutes, 1 degree. Now, if we have 10 degrees, 40 minutes. What's 20? And we said 20 minutes. What's 20 minutes? No, it's exactly the middle. In other words, we have 10 degrees, which means the moon is higher than the sun, 20 degrees. 10 degrees. 10 degrees. Now, in how much time it will take for the 10 degrees to go down in the Shkia? In other words, from when the sun goes down till the moon goes down, which is 10 degrees away, how many minutes it will take? 40 minutes. Which said every minute is, like I said, 4 minutes. So if you have 10 degrees, it's 40 minutes. So after, in other words, when the sun goes down the Shkia 20 minutes, which is 5 degrees, so you have still for the moon to be 5 degrees over the horizon to see it. Let me explain you. When the moon goes down, right? So if you have a little hill here, a little house there, a little house there, you'll block it. So you don't want to make calculations where the moon is already mamish by the horizon, because it'll be very hard to see. So you make the calculations for 20 minutes in the middle, when it's still, the sun is 5 degrees below the horizon, the moon will be 5 degrees above the horizon, and that's Shas Ariyah.
By 40 minutes, we're going to be under the horizon, so you can't see them.
Right, so that's why I said 20 minutes after the Shkia, that's Shas Ariyah.
Unless it's a day later, then.
No, I'm just saying the ideal. I'm not.
I want to say, if it's a day later, then there'll be more time.
Oh, yeah. So that's if that comes out 29 in the end of 29, that's the calculation gave the Bezdin. So they're going to make, there's much more cheshbonos to make, but in general, that's the cheshbonos they make, and they say, okay, it's possible to sit, let's sit, and see if some Eidim come, and we are going to make us chaydas. Oh, wait. Was makes the Vend Dav Zayin? You don't see the Keshes Ariyah, you see them on the moon. You can't see the yeah. Oh, from the Shkia. From the Shkia. From the Shkia. In other words, you will, I don't know if people learn, but we will soon learn, you have 10 minutes, you have 10 degrees over here, right? So 10 degrees, we said, 40 minutes, right? We will learn in Perik Yud Zayin that it doesn't always come out like this. Yeah, I don't have time now. I'll call you later, okay? I'm in the middle of lesson now. Aviva. Okay, bye. Okay.
By the way, we have to say 13, it's really 12, because the sun is also moving more.
No, but we didn't compare it to the sun. We just said how much does the moon go. Okay? So we'll learn soon that the 10 degrees can be sometimes, instead of 40 minutes, can be 50 minutes. Or instead of 40 minutes, it can be 30 minutes. And the whole Perek Zayin is to calculate how much take bepel mamish in actuality, how much will the 10 degrees take, and it
Why could it be more or less?
we're not going to go into right now. But there is a lot of factors. Yes, there's a lot of factors.
It's 40.
Okay, whatever. Okay, so that's the main thing that we want to. So we have to know, in other words, so for us to make the calculations, first of all, we have to make calculations to find out exactly how much the moon is away from the sun in 29 in the evening, 6 o'clock. That's the first thing we have to know. So with the sun, we saw yesterday that when we say the sun is there or there, so it's not always going to be there. There is Emtsoi and Amiti. Because the Emtsoi is for its own galgal, and Amiti is how we see it in the sky. And that's what we have to know. Where is it for us to see where it's in the sky? So we finished with the sun yesterday, and today we're going to show what can happen to the moon, that it shouldn't be in exactly where it is with the simple cheshbon. You have to work more than that. I'm missing anything, David? No? Good? Okay, Nachmiss, we get up here and do some the picture. Baruch. The junge Blut. Also, I hope it's not a hold. Okay. Okay, fine. Here you see the Kadu Haaretz. Here you see the Galgal Alavone, right? This whole Galgal Alavone. Now, in actuality, like we said yesterday, in the Galgal Hashemesh has 2 Galgalim. Each one affects the other. So in Galgal Alavone there is 4. And each one goes in different directions till our head gets mixed up. And then we decide, we make the calculation and come to the bottom line. So where is it now? You schlepp by her, I schlepp by him. So where is it now? Bepel mamish. Okay? So we see over here the galgal, and then we see in that galgal, there is a small galgal, and the moon is actually over here, turning like this. Besides that the moon is turning like this, it's traveling with a big galgal. Now this galgal goes, how much degrees we said? 13 plus. Now, who in that small galgal goes actually every day the same, that 13 degrees? So they explain, this point is always going the same thing. This point is like attached to that galgal, and when this galgal goes, so this galgal is always going to travel the same speed, the same amount. So this point, like we say, goes 13 degrees.
Which point is not going to?
Oh, I'll show you. I'll show you.
Center of the small galgal going 30 plus.
Well, what did I do with the moon? Okay. Now, the moon, we said, will be over here. Or over here, or over here, over here. Now, the moon, that's Ma'ariv to Mizrach, right? Ma'ariv to Mizrach, the galgal goes. And the small one goes from Mizrach LeMa'ariv. He's turning.
Like the galgal.
Yeah. So he's turning like this. How much does he go every day? Every day goes 13, also 13 degrees. But you have to understand that 13 degrees are the 13 degrees of the small galgal. What does that mean? From here till here, right? So it's 90 degrees, right? Now, from here to here, is how much degrees is from here to here in the big angle. So you see, it's only 5 degrees. In other words, when the sun goes from the top, now when the moon, when the moon is over here, so it's in the same line with that point. So, and when we calculate where is the moon, we calculate again about this point. So now when the moon is here or here, so it'll be mamish the same thing. It doesn't make a difference between the moon and this point. They're all to parallel. But when the moon travels 90 degrees, it'll be now 5 degrees away from the center. So instead of 1 in clay, you'll be 25 in Dogen. Now, usually if they go to Ma'ariv to Mizrach, so the sun will be here. No, the sun, but the Shkia, right? So the sun, that's Mizrach. Ma'ariv. When I'm standing in Ma'ariv, Ma'ariv, and the galgal is going for Ma'ariv to Mizrach, but that's its own galgal. But where is the galgal hayomi slapping it? Into me, to Ma'ariv, right? So now it's in other words, the sun will be going first, and then the moon will go down. Now, if we say that the moon is going to be over here, so it means the moon is closer to the sun. We don't want it. We don't want it. We want the moon to be over here. So because when the moon is over here, it's 5 degrees away from the sun. So that will give us a much better chance to see it. I don't mean what we want. It doesn't make a difference what we want, but I'm just explaining that Bepeil Mamesh, when the moon will be 90 degrees, so the distance between the moon and the sun will be closer. Right? Huh? Less 5 degrees. If it's all the way. If it's going to be here, well, it'll be different. But when it's in the first 180, it's closer to the sun. From 180 till 360, it'll be away from the sun.
So when you're calculating the moon's position, you have to take into consideration the 13 miles that it's moving in the bigger,
right,
and the 13 little ones.
Right, and where is it in the 13 degrees?
Also, there's also going to be 10 miles every 40.
Right, so you have to know exactly where is this point. That's called Emtza Yareach, and then you have to call this called the Maslow. That's what they call Maslow. And then you have to find where is Emtza Maslow, where is the moon in that small one, and then if you think you finish, you didn't finish. Because there's another problem.
Rather than also depend on where the moon was in the sun.
I don't understand what you're trying to say.
It's going to move within its own gulf, right? But where was it by the Moilet?
That's what we were talking about.
But if it was by the Moilet, 90 degrees.
We are talking about 29. Wait a minute. When Moiled alone doesn't help us. Let's say by the Moiled, the moon was over here, right? What's the difference by the Moiled? We need, wait. We need by 29, like I said before, 29 in the evening, which is Shas Hariyah. So Bezer makes a cheshbon, where is this point? We don't care what happened by the Moiled. What's the difference what happened by the Moiled? We have to know where is this point now, 29 in the evening. Where is it now? This point. And from here, they'll make a cheshbon, where is this? Because first of all, they have to know where is this. Once they know where is this, so now they're going to go to the small one and see where is it, and then you fix up this one, because this one can be in the first, but the moon can be any place, someplace else. So we start from here. Okay, the middle is in the beginning of Tle. Where is the moon itself? So it could be here, so they make a cheshbon. And once they make a cheshbon, so they almost have the moon perfect in wherever it is. But it's not wherever it is.
Now we were the next problem.
Right. So,
He's saying it's going from Lisa to Minor, sometimes it's going from Minor to Lisa.
right. So you see, when the moon is on top of the galgal, more away from us, you go from Mizrach to Ma'ariv. So then also you can see the moon goes, this galgal goes from Ma'ariv to Mizrach. Now, if the moon is on top, so it slows down also the speed of the moon, because he's going opposite his direction.
He doesn't see it.
No, I'm just make it live, make it. But when the moon comes over here, no, it's like ja, wo die kam ist ihre Beschluss und wo die ganze das. No, yeah, if it's here or here, then there's nothing to fix. But when the moon is over here, so which direction does it go now? To Ma'ariv. I mean, to Mizrach. It's going the same direction of the galgal. So now it's going faster than 13 degrees a day. You understand? This point goes 13 degrees a day. Now, when the moon is here, and it's traveling also the same direction. So now this moon is going faster than this point. So somebody isn't, again, like in the train. Somebody sits in the train who goes from Ma'ariv to Mizrach, and then he decides, okay, I'm going to get up and walk also the same direction. So he's going faster than the train. Okay.
You were going to introduce another problem.
Yeah, so I must admit, the picture that's supposed to represent that problem, I don't, no?
What's the problem?
Oh, so I'll tell you what's happening.
You got the picture?
Huh? No, I lost the stick, yeah. I couldn't find it.
Okay, we'll
Huh?
Saw something missing.
explain it. Then we'll
Okay, let's explain it. Okay, I'll explain it. Okay. This small galgal, right? Bechlal, every galgal, like the Rambam said already in Perik Yud Aleph, that every galgal goes the same speed every day. So it's not such a thing, he's getting lazy or he's getting all of a sudden strong and goes fast. Same speed every day. So over here, the Chura should be the same thing. The Chura, the small galgal, should turn every day the same speed over and over again. But there is one problem. There is one problem. Here is the top, right? Top. Everything when you say top has to be in comparison to a place. He said, if I'm over here and the roof is over there, then the top is over here, right? If I'm going to go over here, then that's not going to be the top. The top will be over here. So every top has to have a reference, a reference point to where is it the top. Now, the reference point from this galgal is, here is Kadur Haaretz. I don't have the picture, but it's right over here or something.
What? What's that?
That has I decided. It's called Nekude Neuchachis. It's around also around different. There is. I'm not gonna. I mean, I don't have a picture, so I'm lost myself. I don't know how to say it. But I'm going to say one thing. There is, like I saw in the sun, there is the blue galgal in the sun, which means the goiva shemesh. So there is also in the moon a goiva. In other words, there is times, but the moon, that the whole galgal is far away from us, and sometimes the whole galgal will be close to us, and it's much bigger different than the sun. The sun is only a difference of 2 degrees from the summer and the winter, but this can be 10 degrees. I think 10 degrees could be a different. Okay?
Was it master enough?
Yeah, yeah.
You say the sun could be how many degrees?
10 degrees are different.
2. Sun is 2.
Oh, the sun is 2 degrees. 2 degrees. So like 2 days. A degree a day. 2 degrees.
Is it simply the moon is here or there?
No, there is more than that. Because what will the effect? I'll tell you what the effect is. The effect is by the Mailad, so the whole galgal, the top is over here against here, right? What happens what would happen if all of a sudden the reference is over here? So the whole thing all of a sudden has to turn, right? If that's the top, so the top will be over here. If the reference is over here, so the whole galgal has to move, so the top from here has to come over to here. So that besides the 13 degrees that it goes, so the whole thing all of a sudden gets shifted, so the top should be over here. So what happens with that shift? That shift, so instead of the moon to be in the first degree, like in top, here starts the degrees from the top, 1, 2, 3. So that 1, so before was 5 over here, now that 5 will become 1. Because the 1 shifted to the 5. So in other words, the moon, before we said it was, let's say right now, the way it looks now, it's by 90, but because it shifted, now it's already 95.
Saying there's a third movement?
Yeah. And it's because our whole combination of Galgalim, and like he said, because of the reference, that's the main thing. Because the reference of that height of the Galgal is not right below here. It's someplace that goes around. It's not in one stationary place. It's moved.
In fact, why the connection with the last 2 years? Is there any connection?
Between what?
The fact that it goes in its own circle and the fact that it has a
No, I just said it has to do with it. It has to do with it. Because that goiva, if I remember right, that goiva, the middle from that galgal, I think that's that's the reference. You remember that? The reference has to do with that galgal.
little God.
Not with this little galgal, with the galgal that makes it going high or low sometimes.
The sun doesn't have a little God, it also has a.
Yeah, but that goiva is moving only once in 66 years.
The God is bigger, but it doesn't have a connection with this one.
No, but this
We
is
wouldn't have another God. It would also have a God. And it would also affect.
if what?
If it didn't have its own small God.
Yeah, but you're 100% right. Everybody is asking a question why the goiva. The Rambam doesn't speak about it. The Rambam doesn't speak about the goiva from what the moon had. Huh?
Der Weg verliest der Formatus. It's unbekanntes ist es zu Formatus.
Yeah, but that's nicht, if you don't always lose, sometimes you gain. No, no, but it has not to do. No, but he will go away from the sun. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so that's actually Perek design. In Perek design, he's speaking about. So he also says that. It says over there that.
What's the name of this? You're trying to describe another, right?
Yeah.
What is the name of that maskul?
It's the concept. The concept over there. The Rambam doesn't say any names. The concept is the Kuda Noichachis. That was all explained. Yeah. No, this Rambam. The Rambam doesn't say nothing. All the Rambam says like this. If you want to know where is the real moon, what do you do? So he says, what is me gefragt? Take a look. No, somebody else. You asked me about the Emta. Anyway, you take, where is the Emta Hashemesh? Right? And go to where the moon is, Emta Yereach. Double it.
Double their distance.
double their distance, and that will take that distance. That's called mechak hakofel. Oh, he calls it mechak hakofel. You have the moilad, yeah. So you have let's say the sun will be over here, right? And emta shemesh, nicht amiti. Take emta shemesh from here. Take this point of the yareach will be, let's say, over here, right? Emta yareach, and see how far the emta shemesh to the emta yareach. Let's say it's 15 degrees, right? 15 degrees from the shemesh to the yareach. No, that's not it. Emsa for both, and then double it. Wait. Double it. So if we have now 15, we have 30. Now take this 30, or whatever number will come out, and Rambam will tell you what to do with it. So each different amount, he'll tell you how much you have to add to this, because he shifted. Like we said before, it's shifting because of the reference over here. So how much does it shift? So this shift has to do with how much the moon is away from the sun. The more the moon is away from the sun, the bigger the shift is. And the Rabbi will tell you exactly how much it comes out to whichever number. No, the Rambam says mechak hakofel.
You say the answer of the moon, you're not talking about this black dot.
Yeah.
You are talking about
Yeah. It's a very delicate and it adds very little to the whole situation. Okay, so once we moved it, right? Once we moved it, so we know already where is the yareach in the small galgal. That's what it added. It added how much the yareach, let's say, like over here, it will be, let's say, instead of 1, you'll be 5, 6, 7. You'll be over here. It could be, instead 90, 95. It'll be 180. It'll be 185. Whatever it is, you have to add whatever you have to add. Now, once you already know where exactly it's, that's maslun, anochen, what do you call it? Maslun anochen. So what do you do now? So now, like we said before, wait a minute. Okay, so how do we know how far is it from the sun? We know in the degrees of the small one, but the small one are not our degrees. Let's say if 90 degrees doesn't mean anything to us. Because 90 degrees in the small one, we don't know how much is it in the big one. Right? Like we said, the whole 90 degrees is only 5 degrees over here. So how do you divide it to know how much is it in the degrees of the Mazolas? So the Rambam gives you again. He tells you if it's 10 degrees from the middle, from here, it's 10 degrees away the moon. So now how much is it for us? So he says it's almost a degree. The 10 becomes 1 degree. Because in the Galgal Mazolas, it's only 1 degree. And I'm going to jump 90, it'll be 5 degrees. Because the whole Galgal can be 5 degrees, a little more. And when it comes over here, you don't have to change anything. Because this lines up together to here. It's one straight line up.
But could it be closer to the sun if the sun is lower down?
It's really, over here, it looks like it's going to be here. Oh, it's going to be so close. Don't forget the sun is 93 million miles away from the moon. So this little, nothing.
Anyway, the Rabbi was saying 180 degrees. Was nog 5.4 miles in 1 gegeven.
What?
En ze komen ze dan gegeven 108.
108. Yeah.
Lijn half is dus 4 miles in 1.
Okay. So let me. The Rambam said the Rambam said a very interesting thing. When we look over here, right? So where is the closest to from that galgal? Where will it be the closest to the sun? when it's over here, right? 90, because 90 is the most towards Ma'ariv. But in actuality, the Rambam will tell us, no, it's not 90. It's going to be 100. Why? When we look from here, I'll better look from here, so it'll be more visible. When you look from here, and you go to 90, and then you go up over here, right? Go straight line to where the person looks. Now, what happens if the moon is over here? Now the moon is over here, you go here, take a look. You went past the moon, past this point. That's Nachman. You go over here. So that's why when it's over 90, which Nishtar Pesachel, so the moon is actually closer for our eyes, in other words, in the Masolas, it's going to be in a closer place to the sun.
That was the original 5 degrees.
Huh?
That was the original 5 degrees difference.
No, 5 degrees if this is if the moon will be over here. But if it's over here, so it could be a little more than 5 degrees.
Because the moon is so close to us.
Yeah. Yeah, if the moon would have been, if that circle would have been very far away, then that wouldn't happen. But because the moon is only 250,000 miles away, so it's too close, very close, it makes a difference.
Just to clarify, we're not trying to find how far the sun actually is from the moon. We're trying to find what's the place on the Gadol Mazalis that the moon is, and then based on that, how far the sun is.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, but it's still, no, but it still get to the same, the same territory.
That's the whole chesed keeps on saying where we can put it on the degrees of the Gadol.
100%.
And then based on that.
Because they both, the moon and the sun, speak different languages. So they reden sich nicht zu neif. So you must have one language that they can both, which is Galgal Amazonas, exactly.
So first Rambam is going to suck in the small garden, and then he adds it to the ELIEZER.
Yeah, so obviously, first of all, we find, so what do? First of all, we find out where is Emsa Yerech. Where is the middle of the small garden? That's first of all. Where is it in the Mazolas? After we find out this one, we go and find out how far is the, like we said before, Emsa Yerech from Emsa Shemesh, double it, and that will tell us how much tilt happened. So now, and that tilt, the Rambam will tell us exactly how much we add to the Yerech. Once we add it to Yerech, so now we know exactly where the moon is on the small Gadol. Now the Rambam will give us manot, portions, exactly to each 10 degrees, where is it in the Mazolas, which is called Amiti.
So why 60, why 62, right?
Okay. Now we're going to go into a little new. What's the difference between the summer and the winter? Summer is a longer day, winter is a shorter day, right? Why the summer longer day? So look over here. When somebody lives on the equator, so his horizon is the black line, goes from pole to pole, that is Kavashkia, the horizon. So it doesn't make a difference for where the sun is. The sun can be on the Kav Mashva, let's say, 6 o'clock, comes to the black line by, 12 o'clock, comes to the black line by 6 o'clock, Shkia. What happens if the sun will be all the way in the north, right? 12 o'clock, comes to black line, Shkia. So in other words, if you live on the Kava Mashve, so all year around, the days are 12 and 12.
The Schwarz and the Kava
The
Mashve.
Schwarz is the Kavamash?
Yeah, no, this, the Schwarze is the horizon of the Kava Mashve, of people who live in Kava Mashve.
Yeah.
Okay?
You see 90 degrees.
Right, because everybody can see from wherever he lives, he can see 90 degrees to one side, to the other side. So now, if you live in the Kava Mashve, so you can see 90 degrees till the South Pole, 90 degrees to the North Pole, and then you take a line, which is also 90 degrees. The whole line is 90 degrees. So, okay. Now, what happens? Somebody lives in Israel, Yerushalayim. Can the one Yerushalayim see till the pole? The sky till the pole? He can't. Why? Because more than 90 degrees. Is 90? How much is Yerushalayim from the equator? How many degrees?
I see, Kevin's nice.
Right, 32 degrees. So if it's 32 degrees to the north, so you're losing 32 degrees from the south. So you can't see to the pole, you see 2 degrees higher. But on the north, you will see more than the pole. You will see 32 degrees down the pole. And that's the red line that you see. The red line is the horizon, the Kava Shkia for Eretz Yisrael. So now let's see what happens. The sun is in the north now. Now the sun is over here, 12 o'clock in the middle of the day. It goes down, right, Ma'ariv, it goes down. It gets to the black line, and that's already the Shkia. 6 o'clock, the Shkia for people who live on the Kava Mashve. Right, because 90 degrees finished. But in Eretz Yisrael, the 90 degrees is not finished yet. So you have another hour for the sun to be on top of the horizon till the Shkia.
What's in Zuma?
In Zuma.
This way or this?
Say again.
When you have the dark of the middle like this,
No, when you live on this line, when you live in the middle, exactly by the Kava Mashve, by the equator. Who told you? Which guy told you that?
Equator means north, south.
Why up and down? Why can't it be straight? Okay.
So you take the north and south pole and join what lines?
Say again?
You're making the equator from north and south pole.
Yeah.
If you live
Wait, what are you saying? I didn't see. What are you saying?
which way is this world? Where's the north and south?
Mizrach is over there. Ma'ariv is over
The
here.
middle thing is the equal. So why
This is exactly what you see. Where's Mizrach? Look at it like the world is standing for our eyes.
So why is it winter, why are the days nights
Oh.
shorter?
Why is the what?
Why is the night shorter?
Because there is only 24 hours in a day. Wait. There is 24 hours in the day, right? So if the day is longer, so where did you take it from?
From the 24 hours?
From the night.
Yeah, but show me why, you can't show me why the night is shorter?
Yeah, look. You start the night, if you want a 12 and 12, then you start the night from the black line, right? From the black line, that divides. Now, if it starts lower, so you don't have leftover for the night, the whole 12 hours now. When the sun goes down the red line, it becomes night. So now, when did it become night? What time did it become night? 7 o'clock. Okay, and when will it start to become day? 5, in the other side.
The other side is short, it's not the same distance away.
What? Look, the same line is also in Mizrach, in the other side of the wall. It's the same line, the same crooked line. In other words, the Zricha won't be 6 o'clock, it'll be 5 o'clock, the Zricha.
Vielleicht schauen, was auf das Zoomer, hat längere Tage und nicht, wenn wir tief sind, das vielleicht, das ist schwierig, aber was ist das Zoomer, längere Tage? Ich weiß, was.
Aber wir wissen es about it.
Das ist yes, right?
But you understand now? What?
I have to go to the other side to see.
No,
where-
but it's exactly a copy of this side. How could it be different? Because this line, you see this line?
The red line. The red
Yeah,
line.
right. This red line will be the same thing on the other side. אין לי שם את ה-red line. לא, אין לי. אני רק מראה איפה שצריך... כן. אוקיי.
It's this black one that's the other. Oh, yeah, Taka, where's it light all the time?
Not all.
Where's it light?
Oh, so where is this light all the time? Look, if somebody lives on the South Pole, right? So since from the sun goes over to Nisan till the sun comes back to Tishrei, so it'll be dark over here. There's no sun because it's over. Here's 90 degrees to the pole. Whatever is over this line is over 90 degrees. So it's going to be dark, and on the opposite, the other side will be a whole 6 months light, sun. But it'll be, the sun will always be never on top of the red. The sun will always be like by the Shkia or by the Zricha. In other words, if you live over here, you'll see the sun going around you like this. Okay. So what we see now, that whatever, for us, for Yerushalayim, whatever star is more to the Tzofim, to the north, it's better for us. What means better for us? It will stay above the horizon longer than if it's going to be in the middle or it's going to be here. The more north, the better for us. The better, easier to see the moon. Okay? Now I'm going to go. No, it has nothing to do with summer and winter.
No.
Look. Look over here. You see here the direction from the moon. Don't forget the moon is always, the sun will be here and the moon will always be higher, right? So now if the sun is here and the moon is here, who is more north? The moon. So it's good for us. Because the sun will go down one place, but the moon will go more to the north, so it will take longer for the Shkia. And that's plus for us. So it actually starts from the middle of the winter till the middle of the summer. And from the middle of the summer till the middle of the winter is the opposite. Because here, even it's in the summer, but still the moon goes is in the south side. Don't forget one thing. We don't look how big the day is. All we want to look is these 10 degrees, which we said there's a difference between the moon and the sun. Where is that 10 degrees? If that 10 degrees is over here, it's a problem. Because the sun will start from here, and the moon will start from here, which is more south. So it'll go down fast. So that 10 degrees won't be any more 10 degrees. Here is exactly the opposite. Here the sun goes down, the moon goes more north, so that 10 degrees turns into 11 or 12 degrees. I just want to say one thing. The Rambam says, that was already that was in Perek Yud Gimel, before he goes into all the cheshbonos, he says, how do you calculate where is the moon and where is the sun? So he said, Pashat, you take, you know how much it goes a day, and you know how much, where to start, and just add days. So he says, and whatever will come out for you, whatever the bottom line will come out, when will it be? It will be, an hour before the Shkia or an hour after the Shkia. And he says, don't worry, we will fix it. So what does the Rambam mean over there? The Rambam is Pasha. If you when you make the calculations, adding the 13 degrees for the moon or a degree for the sun, all your calculations are for 6 o'clock. For 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Because the Rambam said that every day is 24 hours, 12 at day, 12 at night. So we'll finish the day by 6 o'clock. So make all the calculation for that. Then, but wait a minute, because there is summer and winter. Summer is the day longer, not the day, the day longer. Summer, you have another hour for the sun to go, and you have another hour for the moon to go. So how could you make it all in one big salad? Summer and winter. And so he says, don't worry about it, we will fix it. Because actually in the summer, so you have this, like we how much degrees does it go in? Till the halogim. So the Rambam in Perek Yudalet, when he speaks about the moon, so he says that again, make the cheshbonos, and he says that in certain month add for the moon something. So which months it said to add? So he said Nisan and Tishrei, other which is close to the equator. So he said over there, you don't touch anything because we are talking about 6 o'clock. Tishrei and Nisan, so the Shkia will be just in time what we need. But when it comes to summer and winter, in middle of summer and winter, then it's it could be a different of till the halokim. So it says, but the moon in the winter take away till the halokim because it's not going to go till 6 o'clock. And but the summer you add. Now, why till it's supposed to be till the 3, but the sun is also going to the halokim in that hour. So he says, so that's what he fixed. So give till the halokim instead, and then we fix both of them. Okay. So we're good? I'll give one more perek and yeah.
It's
Rosh Hashanah. That's why I gave the Akdome for the summer or winter, because what's a different the Rosh Hashanah, the whole thing of the Roichav. No, but what does he add? Why do you have to know the Roichav? Because that's summer and winter. Okay, we said already, I don't know, I'm going to work with it. We said already that that the sun is always under the cover mazoles, right? Always, it doesn't go here, always under the cover mazoles. The moon, we said, is sometimes here. It can be 5 degrees off to one side or 5 degrees off to the other side. No. That's more muzzle. I said it's Mizrach HaMa'ariv, right? I didn't say Tzofen and Dorem. If it would be that, it would have been Tzofen and Dorem, but it's Mizrach HaMa'ariv. But like we said before, that the Galgal Alavone is one small one, like you saw, and it has 3 big ones.
I'm going to say that.
I say it. So it has 3 Galgalim. What are they doing? What is the 3 Galgalim? The Levona, the moon. In other words, the moon has 3 Galgalim, 4 Galgalim which are affecting the moon. Affecting the moon, because let's say the sun, the Galgal of the sun is higher than the moon, the Galgal Levona, but when the sun turns, it has no effect on the moon. It has no effect. The only one that has effect on the moon is its Galgalim and the Galgal Yomi, which takes it every day around the world. Besides that, only its own group are affecting it. So its own group are consistent of.
Turns everything.
Right, that's I said, it's affecting. That is affecting.
He's not. He's he's not influencing the small Galgal?
No, it's only, it does, it takes him. Everybody's traveling with him. Everybody's traveling with him. When the sun travels, if the sun, the Galgal would be or not, it wouldn't make any difference to the moon. So
That's pretty amazing because the Galgal of the moon is way lower than the Galgal of the sun. So in other words, this is influencing this one, but not the sun.
even more.
Even more. The other one?
No, even more. The Galgal, the question is, how come the Galgal, there is the moon, right? The lowest one is the moon. Who is on top of the moon? A Galgal is called Koichav. And he has his own movement. Even his movement, which is organically right on top of the moon, has nothing to do with him.
Doesn't influence him.
Doesn't influence him.
Only the other Galgal influences everyone.
Right.
Wow.
And
without the others influencing the other.
Right. And the Tzemach Tzedek in Sefer Achira has a whole bunch of pages which is trying to figure out, and it brings from all kind of people that try to figure out logically, how is it possible? How is it possible? Especially the moon in the Galgal, which is one higher than in Koira, which are mamish, it's shining. How could it not affect it? And he's in him. He's sitting over there. So he says it, he comes to the bottom line, I think he says, you can't explain it. You can't explain it. Okay. So we have three Galgalim, you said. So one, the top Galgal of the three, his direction is under the Kav HaMazolos. Right? When I say direction, it's like I usually explain that this is the equator, right? The equator from Galgal HaYomi, Galgal HaChi. What's the definition of equator? The definition of the equator, what I explained, is the direction where the Galgal goes. If the Galgal goes like this, that means that's the middle of that's the direction. If the Galgal HaMazolos, the Galgal HaMazolos is also turning, right? Galgal Shmini. So what's his direction? This way. Okay? Or this way, going from Ma'ariv to Mizrach. So, and that is equator. So the moon has three Galgalim. One of them has the same Kav HaMashve of the Kav HaMazolos. Not Kav HaMashve, the equator. Not equator, whatever. The direction of the Kav HaMazolos, the direction of the moon, of the top, the Galgal of the moon, is under the Kav HaMazolos. Galgal Shmini.
The center.
Huh?
The center.
I know, but center is center is in the middle. This is center direction. Okay, center direction. Okay, so that's the top of the tree, and then they have two more, and these two are of the same direction, and their direction is 5 degrees. In comparison to Galgal HaMazolos, it's 5 degrees. Let's say at some given time, the beginning of the where it started to go out was from here, the angle. So it's going to go 5 degrees. In other words, 5 degrees will be over here, and from here it will go back over here and cross over the other side 5 degrees. So it'll be 5 degrees more to the south, and the other side will be 5 degrees more to the north. But it doesn't have to, because the way we'll soon see, you can start from here also. The 5 degree angle can start from here, from here, from here. Can start from any place. Okay? Let me see if I can. Let's see if we can still work with it. Zerbrochen die Welt. Zerbrochen die Welt. No, I want to show it how it's. Okay. Okay.
This should be in the kids club.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, get ready. Okay, so go. Well, lovely. You sound like
Oh, easy. Okay, good. This has to be over here. Oh, no, the red one should be on the black. Easy. Understand? The red one. Okay, and now bring it up here so we can see. Okay, good. Okay. You see, now you see, Nachman, you see, let's say the angle started from here, so the red one will go under the black, under the mazoles. But the blue one, which are the other two galgalim, are going to get a degree or 5 degree. So now here the 5 degree is towards Dorem. Okay. So now, so there is, like you see over here it crosses from Tzofen to Dorem, right? You see, because this side is Dorem. So the blue one is in Dorem from the red one, which on Kava Mazoles. So in the other side, you can imagine it'll be the opposite. The blue one will cross from Dorem to Tzofen. Now, so the Rambam said that there is, in other words, there is two opposites on by 180 degrees. So this, where it goes over from Tzofen to Dorem, this place the Rambam calls Zonov. Zonov. Okay? Zonov. And the other side, where it goes over to the north, it's called Roish. Okay? So it starts, wait, one minute. Now.
That's where we are.
Huh?
That's where we are.
What do you mean? Yeah, but okay. So now, wait, I'll show you this. Now, so this is called Zonov, right? Where is the Zonov now? Let's say the Zonov is by the equator now, right? But what means by the equator? Let's say by beginning of Tishrei, right? That's Tishrei. So that's where what the Zonov was. Is it always going to be by Zonov? By Tishrei? No, it's moving. How is it moving? So what happens when the red one is moving, right? Actually, the red one is moving from east to west. Okay, so he moving this way. So when he moves this way, so what does he move with him together? The Zonov and the Roish. The Zonov and Roish are both moving, and the Rambam called this moving Achiranis. Because
What's on the rate?
no, the ganze Linie für Roish.
Ja, was kann der Recht noch allein du kannst. Zurück zur ganzen allein.
Okay. So, wat hebben we nou in de Shemesh dezelfde zaak? Wat hebben we nou met de Goiva? Dat ze een roef gaan worden.
Nee, ziet er niet meer aan. Samen is niet zo.
Ja, is een maspia.
Hoe is het maspia?
Ja, een maspia. Ja, dat is iets daar.
Ja, maar
Okay?
The race is the race of people who play. It speaks about this the game I share. Moves every day.
Okay. So we know already. This is Tzofen, right? This is Dorem. So when over here, there will be dishonor because it goes over. Now we're going to call it Rosh. And with the Rosh, with the red one moves, you see he moves that Rosh. And we said that it's going backwards. Why it's called a Haranis? Because till now, all the movements was with Seder Amazoles from Tle to. No, it's, okay, you call about it now, but the main thing, it goes from Tle to Shoy to Tehoimim in this Seder. But this gargle goes the opposite. It goes from Tle to Dogim. Huh? Everything goes with Galgalei. Besides the Galgalei Yoimi, it has its own movement. Huh? No, wait. It goes with the Galgalei. In the same direction. Because it's going from Mizrach to Ma'ariv.
What is the green one?
Oh, the patch? Okay, so yeah, so wait, so you see what the effect is. The effect is the 5 degrees. So in other words, if that's a Galgal Mazolas, right? And the moon will be over here. So the moon can sometimes be like over here, it'll be to Dorem, or the moon can be, because the moon is always on the blue line. You have to remember, the moon is always over here, and this one is only affecting where will be the Rosh of the Zonov. But the moon is never over here. It can be over here, it can be right by the junction, so then it's not going to be not Sofan and not Dorem, it's going to be the middle. But usually it will be either Sofan. Now, if it's in Sofan, right over here. No, it can be, no, it's not of the right, it's on the green, but where the junction of the...
As je weet 50 degrees, 4 pijls weg. Ik avoid the 4 pijls weg. Van Galba Mazolas.
Yeah, but that's almost in the green, yeah? It's always in the blue one, the moon. So it can be over here if it didn't pass over here. It keeps on turning, right? So it must come over here, sometimes it must come over here. It can be always over here.
Then it's like
Yeah, then it'll be a Kava Mazolas, and only then will be the liquid. So the moon has to be here. Okay. So again, so the main thing why we have to know this is like we explained before, because once we know there is a tilt of 5 miles, so we have to know where is the moon exactly, because if the moon is over here, then it's a big plus for us, because the more the moon is in the north, the more time he has to shakea.
A little bit off in the sun.
Say again.
The moon circle around the world and the sun circle around the world, a little bit of 2 different paths. That's what you're saying.
Right. That it goes in the blue, so it can be 5 degrees away from the path of the sun.
That's called the Rosh. And if it's on this side, it's called the Rosh.
This side is called the Rosh. Right. And the opposite here. No.
Towards Darnam, it's called the Zon. For something called the Rosh.
The one that it passes to the Tzofen, we call it Rosh.
That's the Roicha.
The Roicha, right. I mean, that explains the Roicha. Right. The Roicha, the sun, the most that goes to Tzofen, let's say, is how many degrees? No, the sun. 23 degrees. So the moon can sometimes, not always, very rarely, but could be 5 more on top. So it'll be 28 now. Or it could be that 28, could be the opposite, could be 18.
between 18 and 28.
Yeah, between 18, it's only by summer, in the summer. But in the but once you come to Tishrei or Nisan, it's completely different cheshbon.
Between 15 and 25.
Why 15?
That is by 10.
Ah, okay.
15, 25.
אני רציתי פעם לקנות הוולקו, כן. למי? ולעשות את על המזלות. אני רציתי לקנות חגורה. מי? דלו. רציתי לקנות חגורה. לא, אני צריך על קו המזלות. ואחר כך להדביק לקו המזלות. את המים? את האלה, יש להם שם. אוקיי. Okay, let me say, wait, עוד דבר אחד וזהו. טוב, let me say one more thing.
Das ist ja nicht mal, was ich verstanden habe.
Aber ist er versteht er?
Nein, jetzt versteht er.
Gut.
Was er verstanden ist.
Abi versteht.
Was kannst du das gesagt? Das ist auf der Pass. Der war der Spiel, sagt mir. Das ist nicht mal, was ich machen will.
Okay.
Ihr seht, ihr redet viele Schönes.
Okay.
No, 28 off the equator. Wait. 28 off the equator, yeah.
If you look in the Rambam, in Perek Tezayin, so he says how to find the Mokim Abiti from the Rosh Hashanah. So he says there is Rosh, I think he called it Amtsoi, Rosh, Amtsoi and Amiti. So why is it called Amtsoi and Amiti? Let's say wherever the Rosh is, right? You know where the Rosh. Actually, when he calls it the Rosh, the Amtsoi will be always. The Amtsoi will always be in the direction of the Mazoros. Right? Let's say when he says the end of Nisan, the Rosh is over here, right? So now you add, and then he says,
Starting point.
Oh, whatever. So we start from here, and then let's say, and you want to know in 10 years or 20 years where will be the Rosh. So you add from here, you add another 30 degrees, right? So now in 60. So now he says, so which direction we went? We went to Seder Amazoras. So now, is the Taki over here, the Rosh? Oh, it's a void. So the Rambam says, you take this number, minus it, 360, and then you'll get where it really is. Because when it was over here and you added 30, you had to have 30 over here. In other words, go back over here. So now if it's 30 over here and you minus it from 360, how many are you going to get? 330. So what's 330? Right over here.
Trying to make it easier for
Right, because he wants... So you want it to be easy for the people to calculate. So he makes a calculation like you're going say the Ramazoles, because it's easier. But then in the bottom line he says, okay, now let's see where it really is. Okay, that's it. Tomorrow. Was how does he call it? You have the Rambam over here? I think he calls it Rosh. Gib mal kurz, gib mal kurz.
Nein, ich weiß nicht, ob es stimmt sein mit. Like the Rishon Zon, wie macht der Rish? Wie macht der Rish? It doesn't say everything.
Maybe, maybe,
Nee.
maybe you're
Das
right.
ist ein ganz.
Ah, hast du angeguckt?
Aus mir, ich kann ganz klar. Ich mach Leute, ich mach ganz klar nur. Das ist ganz klar. Ich mach da kaum wir haben gemacht, das macht alles. Das ist recht. Das ist recht. 29 Ding.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Das sein, right? Rishon Zon, das sein.
It has to be in the...
Der sein Rishon Zon? Ja, der sein Rishon Zon. Das stimmt mit ihm. Nicht da. Ich stimme zu einer mit ihm. Ich gibt noch Chesh mit zu machen, du jetzt wieder Chesh. Das ist eigentlich Amiti, das und so, aber jeder.
Alle schon so.
Gut, nicht Amiti, das ist Amiti da.
Das ist ein Zeug, ja.
Da ist Amiti dort. Wir sind jeden Tag. Wenn sie die Kalkulation gefahren sind. Amiti, dann soll ich dann da gehen.
Doesn't say meat.
Das ist ja nicht.
Aber in F.
Nein. Das ist sehr. Am Säumes geht, da geht es ja.
Ja.
Besser.
Gibt es noch keine heute steht.
Und dein Geist doch das sagt.
Ja.
Anyway, okay, ja, so ein bisschen ja.
Es kommen morgen noch.
Nee, morgen haben wir mit.